What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven. This is Steven in Stereo, and in today's video we are diving into another album from RM. I just last night checked out Right Place, Wrong Person, and I was honestly blown away. I am familiar with RM from what I know from BTS, but I had no idea what to expect from a solo record. I hadn't heard any of the singles from that album. So I checked it out and I loved it so much that here I am 24 hours later recording another album because I just had so much fun with that. So I'm so excited in today's video to check out Mono. Now, before we get into today's video, I just want to plug my Patreon. I have the full uncut album listening party to Right Place, Wrong Person, as well as this album, Mono. If you're watching this on YouTube, I've already got this video you're watching on Patreon as the full uncut listening party. So if you guys want to check that out, where I don't cut anything out, I don't, nothing for copyright or anything like that, the link is in the description. I have over 130 albums like that. And of course, as I continue to do RM's music, I will also be putting more of his. And I think this is going to make us dive even further into not only BTS and their albums, but also the solo members. So if you guys are interested, links in the description. But with all those things out of the way, I'm so excited to dive into this. I do have a little lyrics thing pulled up because my understanding is some of these songs are not completely in English. So I made sure to have like a translation so that I could talk about the meaning of the songs. You guys know I like to do that. So I don't typically pull up lyrics, but in this case, it makes sense to do that. So this first track is Tokyo. Good melody right there.
Wake up in Tokyo, feel like a torso, and it's time to go.
Love when he comes in vocally like that.
We're in a poncho, that's me some time ago.
Oh yeah. Oh. Love the production on this already. Something that I picked up on in that last record is, RM's love for production. And I think that, is all over these songs. But I think more so than that, I love to hear these harmonies coming in, that love given to the vocals here, especially over this melody. I feel like, again, that R&B kind of feel. It's got this like dark, very vibey and emotional feel to it. I also love in the beginning having the like city sounds still playing. It just adds so much realism to a song.
We all should, babe.
It almost feels like a spoken word, like poetry.
How different it's gonna be.
Oh my god, the reverb on those vocals. Oh my gosh, I just like, it builds so much when you can hear the city, the whistles humanizes a song. Even hearing like a chair creaking. So the reason I bring all that up, the reason I feel like it's very important is that I feel like in this song, it's very visual. Even though we're just listening to it, it really is visual. I felt like I was sitting in the dark in my apartment or in a hotel room in Tokyo and kind of like going through these emotional pieces that I feel like RM is going through. I don't know exactly what this song is about because, I'm listening to it for the first time, but what I'm picking up on this, at least just looking at the lyrics and stuff, is that it kind of feels like it's almost that like middle of the night, you're waking up, you're kind of like in sweat thinking about, like, you're very introspective, you're kind of thinking about all the things that kind of went wrong in your life, or you're feeling a lot of heartbreak, and so you start really going down a rabbit hole of kind of like putting yourself down, kind of being very hard on yourself. And I feel like he says something here when he says, wake up in Tokyo, feel like a torso, which to me just makes me feel like it's almost like he's disassociating. Like, I just feel like a body. I feel like I have no purpose and like there's no me here. I'm just a body. But then he says, I see Pinocchio wearing a poncho. That's me some time ago. And it makes me think that he's like taking a look at himself introspectively, or and sort of like seeing, you know, maybe I'm not the person that I claim to be, or maybe I'm not the person that I think I am. Maybe I'm putting on a front and not being real with myself. I just feel like all those things are kind of coming together, and it kind of makes me feel about those late night sort of insomnia moments whenever you were just like kind of spiraling in your own head. I feel like RM has that here, and there seems to be this moment of like, you can tell the frustration. Even he says like, when tomorrow comes, how different is it going to be? Why do love and hate sound just the same to me? Like, you get to a point where you almost feel apathetic, where it's like, I can't seem to catch the thought to be able to, you know, find a better outcome to the solution. So you kind of hang on to the negatives, and then you just kind of dive further onto yourself. I love the vibe of this. I love that he comes in vocally in almost a spoken word fashion. It's so vibey. And again, it creates such a visual moment. I felt like I was just right there. So sick. Okay, this next track is called Soul, produced by Honey. Okay, let's do it.
차가운 새벽 공기에 난 몰래 눈을 뜨네 이 도시의 harmony 난 너무나 익숙해 내 어린 날들은 아득하고 빌딩과 차들만 가득해도
Love hearing the like at the end of those sentences, taking those words and throwing a little bit of reverb and letting them kind of live for a second. It's so cool. Oh. Dude, I like this. Almost gives me like a 90s hip hop kind of sound, and I love that so much. RM sounds so cool on this. Oh yeah. That's a hook right there. Okay, so I'm kind of picking up on what the song's about already. First off, I love this chorus. If love and hate are the same word, I love you, soul. If love and hate are the same word, I love you, soul. I just love how well that is delivered. That is a catchy hook right away. So immediately, yes. But I think more so, this is kind of giving me the vibe of a song of somebody who loves where they're from, hates where they're from at the same time, because every single person with a hometown knows exactly this feeling, where you almost feel like if you stay in one place, you become stuck there. But at the same time, every time you leave, that place seems to grab a hold of your soul and pull you back in. It seems to never want to let you go. I often think about this throughout my life. My family consistently moved back to my hometown. We'd move from state to state and then move back to my hometown. It's like it always has this grip on you. And I kind of understand what he's going through here talking about. He even says like, I'm already used to the city's harmony. Even if my child is distant and the city is full of buildings and cars, this is my home now. To me, it kind of feels like he was already living in this area, but now this area, as his childhood has been in the distant, as he has continued to grow older, he is seeing that city change so much. But even though it's changing so much, it's still the same place it's always been. There's just more around it that has changed, but you still, no matter how it looks different, no matter how the people are different, that geography just seems to pull you back in over and over. Oh, I love his cadence. He has so much swag. Damn. Oh man, I love that note. I just love that note. It's so cool too. Like as I'm looking through these lyrics, like it's so cool because through like what he's saying about like the buildings, for example, they're the same, they're just barely different. The sin of life that was once repulsive and not, and the cold parks pretending to be warm, and the people who always must wander the river carrying too much hand. Like, the point is, you have so much going on in life around you, and so you can look at those things and really everything is perspective. I love that he's kind of saying these things almost as if it's stuff that he would used to complain about or used to not look forward to, but now he's seeing it in a different light. This is what your hometown does to you when it sucks you in. These are things that you complain about, but the minute that they're missing, the minute you go somewhere else and you return home, those things become something that you appreciate again. So it is easy to love and hate that kind of feeling of something that would pull you in that often. And I love that he's able to like put that so eloquently into these lyrics. Ooh. Dude, these vocals are all over the place in the best way. Oh yeah. I feel like I had a personal concert just now. I fucking love everything about this song. I love the tempo of this. I love how upbeat it is. That hook is so well written, especially with that high note that he hits at the end. That's incredible. And again, for me, at least just based on what I read and what I heard, this feels like that struggle of the love and hate that you have for your hometown, that place that really holds on to your soul. All those, I mean, I keep saying soul. I know he's using that because of where he's from, but I feel like it all goes the same. Your heart lies where you were born a lot of the times. And I feel like he puts that into such a great perspective lyrically, while also being able to put out a certified banger. This has 148 million streams on, and like, it makes sense. The replayability is so high on that hook. And it's one thing I'm noticing that I really like about RM, now this being my second album I'm listening to, is he can do some like really interesting things, something that like you maybe wouldn't even be like, oh, I don't know if that would sound good, right? But then RM does it and you kind of hear it and you're like, whoa, I see where he's going with that. One thing that I mean is like when he does that kind of spoken word verse thing, you don't always know if that's going to sound cool. But like when someone like RM does it, because of the attitude and the delivery, because of the cadence, because of, again, the swag, because of all those things put together, you get a really fucking cool moment, right? You get something really awesome musically. But the fact that he can do those types of things and then in the next track put out like an absolute banger like this too, just goes to show that there's a lot of versatility as well. And this is from 2018. So, you know, listening to the one I listened to last night and now you can even hear like there's such a different sound. So cool to see. Okay, this next track is Moonchild.
Gotta hide your heart. We want to be side.
Love these drums. Oh yeah. This is what I mean. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about that attitude. I love that like that beat comes in, that beat drops, and he just fucking owns this moment. Like I cannot get enough of moments like this because I feel like you, and I said this in the last video, but you actually do feel his presence on a track. Oh man, all those hi-hat rolls. Oh my god. Woo! I'm obsessed with this. Again, I talked so much about the production on that last record, and I'm going to talk about it again here. I love the trap drums in this. I love hearing that while having RM do this kind of vocals over it. So giving us a hip hop verse and then hitting us with more of a melodic, almost like pop centric chorus. That is so fucking sick. Honestly, I could listen to him do this style and it'd be the only thing he did and it would be the most amazing thing. Like, that's what I love so much about what I'm listening to from him so far, is like every style that I've heard him like do or like take a stab at, it's so fucking cool and it's so unique and it's such an interesting perspective on it. So I love hearing just him go absolutely off right now on this instrumental. Love, oh yeah. I was gonna rewind it the first time I knew it was gonna come back. The way that he says child, what he does with his voice there is so cool. I also love how the instrumental comes in really hard there, and so RM also delivers. Taking that back. Oh yeah. This is definitely my favorite song so far. Oh, I am such a sucker for this kind of instrumental. This is all I make all day. Oh yeah. Oh my God. That's my new goal now. I need to get an instrumental to RM, please. Hi, I make hip hop instrumentals. I would love to make one for you. But on a serious note, I love this song so much. RM vocally is just giving me everything I could want in this chorus. So well written, and I love these drums. I love this whole setup. It just has such a modern sound. And again, this is from 2018, so it's so cool that even today this sounds fresh. That's amazing. I love the lyrics to this from what I'm gathering based on the English translation and just kind of what I was hearing. This whole idea that we're born in moonlight, you know, kind of born to be sad. The idea that maybe you're born in the darkness. Some of us, you know, I guess like taking this from my perspective, when I'm reading this, as somebody who struggles with depression all day, every day, high, because I struggle with that, I vibe with these lyrics, kind of being born in the moonlight, the idea of being born in the dark, kind of like having this dark cloud over you. With that being almost this idea that you feel like you're born into the sadness or this darkness that kind of like has this hold over you and kind of like causes the sadness to you. But like, there's also this ability, if you can be strong enough to not cry, to not back down from this moment, he says right here, come on, Moonchild, that's how it's supposed to be. All this pain and all these sorrows, that's our destiny, see? You and my life was like this. We got to dance in the rain, dance in the pain. And so that's what I'm getting from this, is that even if you're born into that situation, you have to find a way to celebrate that moment, find a way to find a high within that low that you are in to try to bring you up, rather than just being born and cast into this moment where we are kind of, you know, dealt the hand we are dealt and we just kind of live with it. Why not, even though we are in that pain, try to live to fight another day, try to give ourselves a chance to find a light in this. Now, I don't know if that's exactly what he's saying here, but again, music is very much subjective. And when I hear this song, I feel like, oh, I hear this, I feel like I am a Moonchild. So I love that so much. All right, this next track is Badbye with Eon. Oh my God, please let me send you beats. Oh my God. Woo! Feels so epic. I feel like the song is incredibly too short considering just how good this idea was going. I love this instrumental so much. I love this vocal delivery, but I'm also interested in the lyrics because I like the meaning of the song, even though I will say right away, it is very short lyrically. I feel like there didn't really have to be much said to really get across this point. So Badbye, it literally describes itself, right? This is not going to be a good moment. Kill me softly, have me scattered as fragments. So whatever this conversation is about to be, where we leave each other, you are about to destroy me. So please do it as easy as possible. This is going to hurt because I'm going to be shattered into a million pieces. And also this outro, you and I, bad try, you and I cry. You know why. I cry. You know why. It's a bad bye. I'm gonna cry. I'm heartbroken. Simple enough. I love the production on this so much. Again, something I'm gonna praise, I think, with everything that I check out with RM. Because he himself enjoys production, he also finds, just that love and nerding out and also making something sick like this. So I love this. All right, this next track is Good. Dude, RM's vocals are so cool. Oh. I noticed too, with every track, vocally there's always a lot of reverb, and I'm a big fan of that because it makes his voice so present on the track. It creates so much space in the song, and I love that because every time, RM hits a note, it like fades throughout the ears, right? So I feel like you hear it in a whole space in your head. It's such a good feeling. Oh, hey. So I was just gonna say that's what I was feeling in this track. This whole verse that he has, obviously it wasn't in English, but the translations are here, and he's basically just criticizing himself. It's almost like you're standing in the mirror, just kind of going in on himself, like, do you only amount to this? You need to do so much better. You need to be cooler. Basically, just like being so hard on yourself to the point that it's hard to even love yourself. And so it's very hard to be in a position where all you need is you. When you are unable to love yourself, that's when you'll go and search for love from someone else. But the truth is, to ever be able to be really good in a relationship, you have to be able to love yourself. But really, if you are trying to be okay with just yourself, this is definitely the journey you need to be on. But going into one of these situations the way that RM kind of was, obviously that's not healthy. However, he does at the end of that verse say, you have to win. Well, he says, if you're going to be defeated, you might as well die. But then he says, you have to win, being like, if this is all that it's going to be, then I might as well fight hard to do this, right? I might as well give it a shot. Like, even though I'm going to be hard on myself and critical on myself, I'm also going to motivate myself. So, Oh yeah, those hi-hats. Yeah, I absolutely love the idea of a track where you're disappointed and hard on yourself, but there is something that you're trying to pull at the end of it, which is you trying to find a way to find peace with yourself. Because at the end of the day, to navigate through life with love for yourself, actually you set yourself up for a much more positive experience, or at least in the long run, you hope so. It can be so challenging and demoralizing if every day you wake up being your own biggest critic. And here's the thing, every single one of us do that, look in the mirror and you can be as positive as you want, but then we immediately start finding flaws. It's almost like we look for those things sometimes. And I think kind of what RM's saying here is that is the problem. We fall into these loops of where we're sitting in our own disappointment and we are just being harder on ourselves. But sometimes finding the real us, finding that thing that's going to help motivate us to do the things that we love, to live the life that we want to live, we have to find that within ourselves. You can't find it in anything else. You have to find it within you. Easier said than done, but just like RM says, he's just trying to reach the real me. So I vibe with that so hard. I also love just the emotional, kind of like emotionally driven song that had kind of a pop vibe to it. So I liked that it was upbeat and you wanted to keep enjoying those moments and listening to those vocals just like drifting through your head, but you knew those emotions were real. All right, this next track is Everything Goes with Nell. Oh yeah, let's go. Oh. I just want to say, like, how beautiful has this minute and a half been for us to be saying that it all passes someday. Certainly, it all passes. Everything goes. Everything goes. Everything goes. It all passes. We are literally talking about the end, where you can look at that as either the doom of the end or the beauty in the fact that it all ends. But I just love this instrumental while we are singing those lyrics. Oh my god. Dude, what the fuck? We're just singing about the end. We'll just dance till we die. I feel like this is one of those inspiring songs. This is one of those things that become the reminder. If you ever needed a reminder to wake up and live, this is the song. I love this because first, let's talk about the thing that I love the most about this. I love that the lyrical content is so heavy in this song. Everything goes, everything dies. With absolute certainty, everything is gone, right? And that's such a heavy topic to think about. But when you have it over this instrumental, I think you get the exact purpose of what the song is about. A reminder to live, because of the fact that everything will end and that everything dies, you might as well appreciate the time you have while you're here. And it's so much easier said than done. I can sit here and tell you this all day, but I struggle with the exact same things. It's hard to embrace the moment when we're in them. We typically live in the past, or we think about the future while forgetting that we are here in the now. I find myself so caught up in worrying about the fact that I'm going to get old and die, that I'm going to get old and die while worrying about those things, while also losing all of my youth, being worried about something's going to happen later that I can't control. And I feel like RM is giving us this sort of like anthemic moment to wake up and remember to live. He says, just like the night leaves and the morning comes, the spring leaves and summer comes. Just like the flower wilts and the fruit grows ripe, everything needs to go through pain. Then he says, embrace the world and suck in a breath. That prickling air that fills up your lungs says everything. And I couldn't have said it better myself. What a beautifully poetic way to say that. Sometimes we look at all this shit going on in our lives that ends up being so minuscule. It doesn't matter the type of phone we want or what outfit we're going to wear. Some things are so trivial and they don't matter. We can get so caught up in some of these things, but all you have to do sometimes, if you want to embrace the beauty that is life, go outside and take a breath. He's saying that thing that you feel, that is the life that's within you. And that is something that you have to embrace every single day. So absolutely beautiful song. Oh, oof. Okay. The last track here is Forever Rain. And before we even do this, I'm going to be doing the Indigo album like ASAP because I'm so into RM right now. Okay, this is Forever Rain.
하루 종일 비가 왔으면 좋겠어 누가 나 대신해 좀 울어줬으면 해서 yeah 종일 비가 왔으면 좋겠어 이게 숨 쉴래 평소에 내 삶도 내 랩도 너무 빠르니까 지금 못.
Wow, so I don't know if RM was going through a lot when he wrote this, but this song feels incredibly sad. Obviously looking at the lyrics as well, but it feels incredibly sad before you even have the lyrics. But I wish it rains all day because I'd like for someone to cry for me. So I wish it would rain so that for once it feels like someone could, have some feeling towards how I'm feeling or what I'm going through. I also wish it would rain because then people wouldn't stare at me. The umbrella would cover the sad face because in the rain, people are busy minding themselves. Basically, it's I can't have the whole world watching me at this moment because it's raining and everyone is focusing on their moment. So while I kind of have life always raining down on me in my own life, I wish it would rain in a much bigger sense so people would not even see the struggle that I'm going through.
Jam, slow rain, everything slow. Slow rap, slow jam, slow rain, everything slow.
Oh, I actually like that he says that. Slow rap, slow jam, slow rain, everything slow. the idea of being able to slow your life down, embrace the feelings that you're feeling in those moments. And oftentimes that is the moments when it's sad. It seems like sadness is a great job of slowing us down. It's crazy when we're happy, life just passes by. But the minute that you're sad or going through something awful, a fucking minute feels like a week. It is the hardest thing to go through. And so in this moment, I guess, if you are truly in that level of sadness, you're just getting lost in the rain with your slow jams.
Forever.
We had guitar moments like this in the last record too. Oh, the trap drums again.
창문들을 두드려 잘 지내냐면서 안부를 물어 And I answer 난 여전히 삶의
Wait, I love what he just said. When it rains, I get a little feeling that I do have a friend that keeps knocking on my window asking me if I'm doing well. Like, because the rain, obviously there's a physical aspect to it. You can feel the rain and it knocks on the umbrella. It taps on you. I love that he metaphorically or even symbolically, I guess, just used rain as having a friend. I love that. Oh, I really like RM. Like, I have so much fun with the amount of like hip hop that exists in these records, but having so much emotional depth at the same time. Like, so sick.
제발 아무것도 묻지 마 그냥 영원히 내려줘 네가 내리면 외롭지 않아 너라도 내 곁에 있어줘 잿빛 세상에서 살고 싶어 영원 따위 없는 걸 알고 있어 Slow rap, slow jam, slow rain, everything
Hold on.
slow.
He said, I'm not lonely when you're pouring. Please stay by my side. I want to live in the ashy world. I know that there's no forever. So what I hear when I hear that, want to live in the ashy world, I know that there's no forever. I feel like that means like I want to live on this world as it burns, because obviously like at some point the sun is going to take this baby over, and it's almost like I want to be able to do that. I want you to be by my side while we sit on this rock until it exists no more, because I know that there's no forever. Wait, I love this because it has that alternative hip hop style. So if you think like Lil Peep, for example, where it's got this like emo piece to it, I can totally hear that in this moment right here. The guitar is part of it, but also his vocals. Oh my god. Wait, that was such a beautiful ending to this. Are you kidding me? I love those ringing out guitars so much. I love that distortion, the amount of just, oh my god, like what the fuck just happened? That was all so sick. And I feel like it's really like a big moment in this song. I feel like there's like a lot going on, right? This song feels to me like he's trying to say that like there is really no life without pain. So when that rain comes down, it just reminds me that I'm alive. It reminds me that I'm not alone. You can't always live in this just constant state of happiness. And I kind of feel like he's saying like that sort of animosity, that grief, when it rains, it pours. That saying has been around forever because it's true. It always feels like when things start to get tough, it kind of piles on. It's almost like the world is testing you in those moments. And I kind of feel like what he is saying is like, I need that challenge the rest of my life. I know that I can't live forever. I know that, it's not always going to be pretty, but that kind of challenge, those kind of obstacles are going to be the things that keep me alive. They're going to be the things that keep me pushing forward. So forever rain on me. Forever rain on me to remind me that I'm not alone. Forever rain on me to remind me of the things that I feel. Forever rain on me to remind me that I'm alive. If it doesn't get, like if that's about as beautiful as it fucking gets, you know what I'm saying? Like that right there is so poetic. And here's the thing. I'm just some dude on YouTube, right? Like, I'm probably not right about any of this, but and this is just my interpretation of this. Take that as you will. But because of just how beautiful that sound is and just how big this song is, it just kind of makes me feel like that is kind of the direction he was going with this. And I kind of feel like there's a lot that we're talking about in this record that gives me that same kind of feeling. In Tokyo, I feel like he's dealing with some struggles with himself. I feel like in Seoul, he's dealing with the struggles of loving the place that he's in and also hating it at the same time. And Moonchild, the struggles of being born as somebody who is just like inherently sad and having to fight that sadness over and over. Badbye, I am now sad because you know exactly why, right? And then we get into Uhgood and we just continue going through this lyrical topic. But I feel like Everything Goes becomes this very big moment to me because it really starts to embrace the moment that we have to live life now. This is our opportunity to live it. And we have to remind ourselves, and this feels like RM's reminder to himself. And just in case that's not enough, we get into Forever Rain, which is not only remembering to live, but also remembering to take everything as it comes, including the bad, because those moments are going to test you, but they're also going to remind you to live. Now, I don't know if RM was going through a lot of this or if he was just drawing some inspiration for these songs, but I feel like there's a lot of emotional depth in this. You can tell he really feels this. And what's really cool to me is, okay, you think about a group like BTS, there's 7 very incredibly talented people in that group, right? So like, there's so much that is brought to the table with each member. And so when I go into this, not really knowing what to expect, but then, hearing all the production side of it and loving that piece to it, but then hearing these vocal deliveries, all those things are super important to me. And they, those are going to be the things that kind of grab your attention like right away. But then listening to the emotional depth that we had in Right Place, Wrong Person, as well as in Mono, just goes to show me that like I'm a big fan of this dude already because he's hitting all the boxes here. It's like we're not just getting great sounding songs, we're not just getting creative songs, we are, especially on Right Place, Wrong Person. There's so much experimentation on that record that pays off. But we aren't just getting those things, we're also getting a lot of lyrical depth that goes into the emotional state of us. And I love the introspective lyricism. I love that RM is almost like writing from a therapeutic place. And I think that's sick. I saw a lot of comments of people, telling me that, that they really liked my analysis of these songs and that, I wasn't right about all the songs, but, they liked my interpretation of it. And I think that's really cool because, again, I'm going into this pretty blind. Like, I don't really know much about this person, but I really like music. And so I just want to talk about the music. And if I learn something about him through that, that's really cool. But for me, I love to, give you my take on what these songs are. And then I do like to hear what they're actually about because music is subjective, but I also I'm somebody who likes to get into the mind of the person that wrote the songs because I want to know what they were feeling because maybe it's the same emotion I'm feeling when I listen to it. Overall, already I'm blown away with RM's discography and we've only listened to 2 albums so far and this was, I think, considered a mixtape. I don't even know. So the next album that we're going to do is Indigo. It'll be the next album that I film, so I hope you guys are stoked about that. But this is so much fun. I just feel like I'm learning so much about him and his style of music. My understanding is that with each album, he really changed up the sound, and I love hearing that too because this album has more of a sound that I normally listen to. I love this style of drums, this kind of instrumental. It's the kind of instrumentals that I make. So I have a lot of fun listening to these things. It's just so much fun, right? But listening to Right Place, Wrong Person, those instrumentals were so there's so much experimentation going on that I feel like I'm drawn to these different sounds of RM already. Now I can't wait to listen to more of his records. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you want to watch the full uncut album listening party to this album, we jammed the whole thing. It's like almost an hour long or something. Check out Patreon, the link's in the description, and you can see my full uncut album reaction to Right Place, Wrong Person, as well as this, and of course Indigo when that goes up, and then all the rest of the albums, as well as over 130 albums, and I think there's over 400 videos on Patreon. There's so much over there, and it's so cheap to sign up, so if you want to support my page, I don't get paid from YouTube, and that's okay. I appreciate the people that support me on Patreon. The link's in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Smash the like. Let me know in the comment section your favorite tracks on this. It's only 7 songs, so I feel like it's really hard to choose that, especially when you have like a track run that is this fucking awesome, but I'm still interested in what you guys are really drawn to with RM. So let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.